Welcome back. I'm not going to promise that that was exactly 10 minutes of intermission here, but that's what happens with amateur video here. But I think that last clip came through pretty well. I had to adjust one thing here, and we're going to actually play and stream this this movie clip right off of the internet and broadcast that. So anyway, thanks to Iowa PBS for allowing us to broadcast this. The next segment that I'm going to show here is the amazing work of the team back a couple of years ago. It would have been Brett Mandernack and his wife Carol and the team there basically trapping and transmitting D27. So if you're a Decorah Eagle follower, you obviously have probably seen the travels of D27 and over the years, and now she's back way up in northern Canada. So this is basically the story of how that's done. It's really neat to watch and see, and we couldn't be happier to have Brett as one of our board members and a partner. I'm sure that you know that Bob was very proud and working with Brett over the years from way back into the University of Minnesota days, back in the early career of Bob and raising peregrine falcons. So without any more delay here, let's switch over and let's watch the Iowa Outdoors clip of D27.
More than a decade, the eagles of Decorah, Iowa have fascinated onlookers inside our state and around the world. But research on these raptors goes far beyond a 24/7 webcam.
A dedicated band of conservationists and wildlife specialists have been banding and placing wireless transmitters on juvenile eaglets for years, and they're not done yet. Iowa Outdoors spent another sunrise with the eagle capturing experts.
With a full moon overhead, a dedicated team of wildlife experts is putting the final touches on a pre-dawn trap. The intended target? One of the world-famous Decorah eaglets.
A little bit. You got it kind of nestled in where you want it? Or
yeah.
We're going to have to move it to put fish on.
Brian from the fish hatchery has done an amazing job baiting the eagles. Took a little while this year, but finally they were more independent and relied on themselves to find food, and they started coming down to the area where we set our Patum trap, which is just a noose style trap where they get their feet tangled up in.
Just trying to get them upright,
Basically.
and making sure there's no kind of gaps in here, so no matter where they walk across the Patum, they're going to catch something, a toe.
So we had a fish that was loose, kind of up more visible for the eagle to see, at least get their attention, get them down to our area where we had the trap.
Yeah, we don't want them to fly off with it.
Normally we can come out within a week, 2 weeks, we can get birds conditioned to come down to bait at that mulch pile that we've been very successful at over the years. For whatever reason, this year, these birds didn't want to get their own food. It just seemed like they would see the food there, be curious about it, start food begging, and then expect the mom or dad eagle to go grab the fish and go back to the nest and feed them there.
After months of pre-baiting a trio of juvenile eaglets, the Decorah team is in place for sunrise at the fish hatchery and hopefully a hungry bird.
A lot of times they'll come in and circle over it, check out the situation, see if there are fish there, in fact, which I'm sure they knew from a distance. Yes. And this happens all the time too, where the bird goes in, grabs the fish. Rarely do they eat it right there early on. They'll want to hop back up onto the mulch pile with that fish. So they're trying to drag it. Well, it's not coming. It had a good foothold on the fish. It was moving the whole trap, but I did not see a noose anywhere on that bird's foot. No. Just wait. So you can't blow the opportunity. You have to make absolutely sure you've got at least one noose around a toe, a foot, or whatever before you go dashing across it, because if that bird is not caught, it takes off. It's now trap-wise. You'll have a very difficult time catching it again. She might be tangled. I see a noose that seems to be following her right tarsus, but we're going to wait until she struggles a bit. Oh, I think she's... Go, 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 go. 625. As I'm heading toward the bird, it just came over me like, yeah, finally. Undoubtedly the female, just judging by the quick evaluation of the feet and tarsus size. It's always a thrill, every single time.
After another successful capture, Brett Mandernack and his team begin work on the next phase, safely attaching a transmitter to a very powerful bird.
641. 15.3.
She's a female, but she's not a particularly large one. I mean, even compared to other females, she's kind of middle of the road. Careful not to have any folds in the Teflon ribbon.
Along with his wife, Brett has mastered the delicate art of correctly sizing Teflon ribbon and a harness around eaglets still maturing into adulthood.
It was a process that we just developed over time, and this with the stitching and the type of thread and the fabric of the ribbon and all of these things were just step by step. We learned how to do it better and better, and over time you get to get a feeling for how tight or how loose you need to have that transmitter and the ribbons, and yeah, the stitching is just, I learned how to do that in 4-H.
The transmitter apparatus must be tight enough to not fall off in mid-flight, but not too restrictive that it could reduce the eagle's flying ability.
2+.
It's a delicate balance with knowledge gleaned from decades of working hands-on with the American bald eagle.
And then we're going to put a little dab of super glue on the end of it, mostly just to keep the Teflon ribbon from unraveling, and also to dab a little bit of glue on the knots, make sure that they stay intact forever and ever, because this bird will likely have this transmitter on for many, many years. It's probably, going to be with it a good part of its life, because Teflon ribbon is very durable. But there's no way to make a fall-off harness, after X number of years. It just is not, you can't do it.
With a harness in place and the solar battery transmitter functioning, the Eagle Dub D27 is ready for release back onto the Decorah Fish Hatchery grounds.
It comes down to sort of the fundamental question of, if you don't know what your species is doing, where it's traveling to and from, and when, under what conditions, you have to know the species in order to be a good steward of that species, know how to manage for it in the future and the present. The only way we can really learn these birds' travel behaviors is to put satellite transmitters on them. You can band them and release them. You get 1 point when you band it, you get 1 point when it's recovered, usually when it's dead. It doesn't add up to a whole lot of data.
Over the following 9 months, Brett tracked D27 throughout its travels from summer to fall and over the winter. His data shows D27 stayed along the eastern third of Iowa as it dipped south and back north over multiple months.
Here we get data on each bird every day. We can learn in some of the details, the minutiae of migration behavior with satellite transmitters that you cannot get other ways. And multiple years is very important too.
There's been close to 30 eagles coming out of this nest here with his two Decorah eagles, mom and dad, and a lot of them are out there. We only know what's happened to a few of them based on the tracking studies that we've done, so it's valuable for the fans, and it's good research for Brett and crew.
That was pretty amazing, wasn't that? I hope you enjoyed that. It is, like I said before, D27 is way up in Canada, not too much below the area where the Arctic Circle passes by, and we're getting data in, and exciting this year that we've got D36 and D35 both transmitted, so going to be gathering again with Brett's studies and Eagle Valley along with us and helping get that data out to you. Continuing on that research, which is really critical. We've learned a lot of things about the Decorah bald eagles, what happens to them, and there really is no way to track and monitor what happens with these amazing raptors without doing some research and study like that. So again, I've got another clip coming up here of the Iowa Decorah Eagle Day that we put together with Iowa PBS a couple of years ago. So I'm going to cue that up. I'm just going to put things on pause here, give you another chance to grab a cool drink, maybe some popcorn, whatever, and we will get started in another 10 minutes, a little bit of an intermission here. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. All right, we're back. Welcome back. I guess I want to say something about the way that we get scientific information and information about the eagles out to the public, to you. We have had Bob back in the early days of peregrine falcon studies, and all through Bob's passing back in 2015, and that process, and up until now, even just with what we just saw with the tracking and monitoring of D27. We've had a partnership with Iowa PBS, and Chris Gorley, Andrew Bott. Can't say enough about the partnership with them of helping tell the story and let people know about the Decorah eagles. It's something that people in Decorah really appreciate, and people across the country appreciate the education opportunity that brings out to people. So many people, so many young and old, I should say, have enjoyed the Decorah eagles, myself included as one of those. And I'm going to show a clip here of a Iowa PBS ticket, I think it was called, or something like that, for folks that pledged online. They got to come to Decorah. We did this 2 years in a row. It was a big hit with folks in Iowa to get their membership at a certain level, and then they got to come to Decorah. And they got a tour of the hatchery from Brian, and they also got to see Command Central and have some things happen, and get to see the nest and get to see some eagles from the Raptor Resource Project and some volunteer staff. So that's what we're going to watch, just an Iowa Outdoors episode showing the Iowa Iowa PBS event, basically when people got to come to the hatchery. Okay, we'll get that queued up here. Enjoy.
The eagles of Decorah have captured the attention of nature lovers across Iowa, the country, and the world. Many people watch the eagles from afar via webcams mounted near their nest.
In 2017, Friends of Iowa Public Television held the first ever Eagles of Decorah viewing event. It gave fans an opportunity to view in person, where the eagles call home, and to learn more about these famous raptors. This is where the eagles of Decorah call home. Northeast Iowa's beautiful landscape as a backdrop, and roads and trails that lead public onlookers right to them.
Our folks had, I think they saw it somewhere on TV, and
Iowa Public Television.
Yeah, and then told us about it, so we decided to come up and check it out. We had no idea there was this much here as far as like the hatchery and all that stuff. I had no idea.
They're so accessible here. You know, you've got easy visibility from the trail or from the road. When the leaves are down in the fall and winter, you can see them from the hatchery. And once they start flying, they're all over the place.
Only a fraction of those who often watch Nature's Own webcam reality show starring these eagles have actually traveled to Decorah to see them with their own eyes.
It would be awesome, obviously, to see them eat a fish or catch a fish, but other than that, just to be able to see them is pretty incredible.
I think seeing the babies, that's what you want to see, right?
Yeah.
The little ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in wildlife in general, but yeah, it's pretty neat to see them go from the egg laying until you actually see the chicks. So yeah, it's another thing to come up here and actually see the nest in person.
You know, God created all these creatures, and they're so neat to watch, and you know, we watch them on camera all the time, and it's neat watching them, you know, the new ones being born.
An eagle's wingspan is about 6 feet and across. The width of our raceways is about 8 feet.
At this Friends of Iowa Public Television picnic viewing event, visitors not only had the chance to see the eagles, but they got a chance to explore and learn more about the neighboring Decorah Fish Hatchery.
A lot of these people that came to this event are eagle people, but they don't make that connection of why the fish hatchery is here and why the eagles are here next to a fish hatchery, because they have literally that unlimited food supply. Of all the facilities I've ever worked at, and I've worked in 9 different fish hatcheries in my career, this facility in hatcheries is the most unique because it is truly has become a destination point.
In 2011 was when the Decorah Eagles went viral.
They also pulled back the curtain and got a special behind-the-scenes look at mission control for the Eagle Nest webcams, something the public doesn't always get to see.
They knew that you guys were coming here today.
John told us a lot we didn't know, you know, so it's kind of neat to see the behind the scenes with the cameras and the computers. Yeah, we love it.
I guess it's a huge opportunity to tell the story of the recovery of these raptors from the DDT devastating effects and how we can make a difference and how we can right some things that go wrong with chemical usage and things like that and learn and make a difference and help out.
Well, I've always been interested in eagles. I just think they're a majestic bird, and it was exciting to learn, you know, that they're making a comeback, that they're coming off some of the lists that they were endangered.
The experts answered question after question about the eagles and educated visitors about some of the environmental and ecological issues that impact these raptors and other wildlife. Fans had already opened their hearts to the eagles of Decorah. Now their minds are open and curious too.
An event like this just basically opens a lot of people up to ideas.
A lot of thank yous, you know, thanks for doing what you guys are doing. So I can see there's a need for what we do, and the appreciation is there for people who get to see the eagles and get into that intimate part of their lives and see the details of what happens in nature. It's something that people really want to see.
I think we're live here again. So that short clip there from Iowa Outdoors, Iowa PBS, that basically is a good snapshot of what the experience is like. And this after the Fledge celebration that we do each year, it was started up years ago, and it really has become something that is really treasured by a lot of people who come to Decorah. They get to come to the city, they get to see things, they get to do a little bit of paying back activities and things like that. Obviously we can't do that this year with the COVID-19 issues going on. You know, a lot of our viewers are older in age, and it's certainly something that we would not decided not to try to even do an event like this and bring people together. And really the exciting thing about coming together is getting to meet fans and talk to people and celebrate a successful Eagle year, which we have had this year. So hope that today has been, if you've had a chance to watch some of the things that we've put out today, I hope that you've enjoyed them. This is the first day of our After the Fledge virtual event, and I probably should say we do have an online auction going on, and there's a lot of really neat stuff that was donated. I'm drinking my coffee here out of a mug that was put together by someone very talented and donated a bunch of materials for the auction. So and it goes without saying that please, if you like what you see and you enjoy the Decorah Eagles and the work that the Raptor Resource Project does, please consider donating to the effort here. We'd love to have you on board. So I think tonight we're only at 45 minutes here of the movie content, so I think what I'd like to do right now, Amy suggested it, and I think it's a wonderful idea. We do have another Iowa Outdoors clip, an older one put together back in the days of Bob doing the historic release. first testing in the Bluffton area, which was the reason that he moved down to Iowa, was to raise and release peregrine falcons on the bluffs down at turned to be Effigy Mounds Monument after the research, but a couple folks that we see each day, Dave Kester, our board member, and our master bander, who helps run Hawk Hill and is also a big part of our peregrine falcon monitoring program, and John Dingley, who is our artist and master engraver, and also does rock work and artistry with rocks and concrete around the Decorah area. Those two were instrumental in helping Bob with the dream of getting peregrine falcons back on the bluffs and doing a 2-year historic release down at Effigy Mounds National Monument, and that was in 1998 and 1999. 18 young falcons were released there off of rock-lined hackbox that looked like where they wanted them to come back to and repopulate a lot of the historic eyries along the Mississippi River and the flyway here in the driftless area. So I am going to take another 5 to 10 minute break here and just get that queued up, but we'll watch two things. We got a neat segment of Iowa Land and Sky, very short, about Lansing. Andrew Bott worked with us to film some of that footage, and then we also have an older segment put together by Chris Gorley and also by Andrew, believe maybe more Chris, of the early days of the peregrine falcon repatriation efforts of Bob Anderson and the Raptor Resource Project. So stay tuned. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll see those two clips.